World E-Bike Series is back racing after the summer break, and it flies to Girona in Spain for its debut in the Sea Otter Europe Festival for round 4. This world-renowned event is hosting this year 154 exhibitors, 195 brands coming from 15 different countries. WES races will be the icing on the cake of an exciting sporting programme. The E-Mountain Bike World Cup is the guest star of the weekend. Let's take a look at the track for race 1. The track length is 3.3 kilometres, covering 7 laps in total, for a total distance of 23.1 kilometres, total climbing 840 metres. Let's get in the saddle with Dutchman Jeroen van Eck of Bafang mountain bike racing team and check out some of the steep long climbs and technical descents of this race. For the first time this season, races will be held on the same racetrack, anti-clockwise on day 1 and clockwise on day 2. Let's take a look now at what happened in race 1. As ever, the riders are gridded according to their results in the morning's qualification, and each of the 2 race days is regulated by that qualification, doubling the chances to step on the podium. Among the national wildcards, several global names such as Olympians Geoffrey Coulel and Carlos Coloma, both excited at their debut in the season. Reigning world champion Jerome Gio started first on the grid, but Joris Riff took the lead at the start and scored the whole shot. In the women's field, the first rider to pass the turn was local Sandra Santaez on her Trek bike. Riff, Van Eck and Olympian Geoffrey Coulel of Mondraker filled the top 3 places in the first part of the race. The women's race was led by Danish Olympian Malene Degnan of Orbea, who managed to leave the Argentinian Josefina Casadei of Canyon and Sandra Santaez behind at the very first corner. The world champion, wearing his WES leader's jersey, performed an incredible comeback, finding himself in first position ahead of a highly motivated Van Eck, current leader of the Eliminator World Cup. Both riders ahead of Theo Charm, third in the WES overall standings. Van Eck took the lead, taking advantage of his leg power on the steepest climb, and it was Spanish-speaking battle behind in the top 3 between the Honduran Milton Ramos and Geoffrey Coulel. Malene Degnan was looking comfortable with some proper distance ahead of the women's runner-up. A thrilling sprint finish decided the men's winner. Van Eck wins over Gillot and Charm in third. Van Eck gets his first win of the season ahead of the 2 Frenchmen.
Well, it took me a few rounds to get to the front. I mean, I'm fighting so hard all the rounds already, but I just couldn't close the gap to the first guys, and today it worked very well. I really liked the course. It was steep, but I could also use a lot of my power, which I'm used to have for eliminator racing, and today it just went really well. It's just a perfect plan, and I could take the win, so happy.
Another exciting sprint closed the women's race. An incredible comeback of the Catalan Sandra Santaez, who managed to overtake all her rivals. She took the lead on the last lap and crossed the line first. Let's hear from her now.
La verdad es que ha sido una carrera un poco loca. Al principio se ha hecho un tapón muy grande aquí y me han adelantado.
Well, it was a crazy race. The first turn was a bit busy and I lost some positions, but then I tried to make my race. I was regaining lap after lap. When I saw Malene ahead of me on the last lap, I went sprinting to the finish line to catch her. I'm very happy for this win.
It was pretty fun to do the first, my first e-bike race. It was difficult. I have a lot of respect for the riders here, using the gearing and the battery in the best way possible, but it was so fun and the course was great. I loved it. It's leading for most of the race, and then there's this Catalan, I had Sandra. She came from behind and I was like, whoa, she's coming out. And in the end, she was sprinting and she had a bit more power than me.
Let's take a look then at the women's race 1 podium with Santagnes, Degnan and Cassidy celebrating with the traditional bubbles. The men's podium, a much happier Van Eck, Gillot shining in his brand new rainbow jersey and Charm consolidating his 3rd overall position. Day 2 at the Sea Otter Europe round welcomed both Carlos and David Cheika, 2 motorsports living legends, World Superbike champion and MotoGP former racer, and 4 times Endurance World champion respectively.
Hi, I'm very pleased to be here in WES Series electrical bicycle. Anyway, you must push, you get tired a lot. I'm here with my brother and we're having a lot of fun. Most probably I will participate next one even, 16 October, also in Barcelona, close to me. Then I try to enjoy all the best, see you.
Great time and a good atmosphere in the paddock where the protagonists are getting ready for another spectacular day of racing.
Ce matin, qualification, j'ai fait une petite erreur sur le parcours.
I made a little mistake earlier today at the very beginning of the qualification race and I lost a little bit of time. So I'm going to start 2nd later on in the afternoon. Today's going to be a completely different race from yesterday, clockwise this time, and it's pretty warm here, so we'll see.
Il va faire très très chaud, donc voilà, on verra.
Let's take a look then at how the track will run. Remember, it's in the opposite direction. Let's take a look at some of the challenges on board Joris Rief's e-bike, rocky descents, rocky uphills and technical chicanes. And here we go with race 2, the starting grid. Riff gridded first, Giraud, Charm, Esteban and Colel competing the row. Another fast start in day 2, the whole shot goes to Gio in the men's and again to Santagnes in the women's race. The world champion takes the lead ahead of Riff and Charm, a few seconds behind. Incredible racing as the riders enjoy the fast and warm conditions and the dust flying up behind them on the descents. Some little problems for the other local woman rider, Ares Masip of Orbea on the steepest uphill where Jorda Colel of Bafang, Jofa's brother, was pushing his bike up. Ahead of her, Santagnes looks confident in her first position. Carlos Cheika at his debut made his race and reported that e-biking is tough, although he enjoyed the race as well as his brother David. We'll see Carlos again in the next round at Casa del Fels, Barcelona. Ismail Esteban BH ahead of Ramos, Colel and Charm making his race to try and get on the podium. But the men's winner at Girona is Jerome Gio. Joris Riff in second place. And Ismail Esteban gets onto the third step of the podium for the first time. Let's hear now from the winner.
Je suis vraiment content de gagner la deuxième course. Hier, c'était un petit peu compliqué avec un accrochage en...
No, I'm really happy to win race 2. Yesterday was a bit complicated with the group in the first corner, while today I made a really good start. I made my way with Joris and I got the win. Despite this race course wasn't giving me any advantage. Now I'm going to focus on the last race at Barcelona as the series is not over yet, and we will see how it goes down there.
Voilà, on verra dans 15 jours.
Sandra Santagnes takes the doublet in front of her home crowd. Josefina Cassidy improved from day one, stepping on the podium in second as a tired Aris Masip completes the top three. There's the result of the women's race. Let's hear now from the women's winner.
Muy contenta, la verdad es que ha sido una carrera muy diferente.
Well, I'm really content. I'm glad I made it to get the victory today. It was actually a completely different race today, as I've been running up for the whole race yesterday, whilst today I've been leading the entire race, pushing hard from the very first two turns. I was really focused on the battery life, but somehow it was easier, but always tough along the race route.
Pero también he sufrido bastante.
This is how the WES women's podium finishers celebrated the sweetest moment of the day, as always with the yellow bubbles. Sandra Santagnes also set the fastest lap on the race in 8 minutes 54 seconds and secured her first Magneti Morelli Checkstar Power Lap Award. The men's podium sees reigning world champion Gio wearing again his WES leader's jersey and feeling comfortable on the first step of the podium. More relaxed but still competitive Rift, both looking forward to the big finale. Also in the men's race, the winner set the fastest lap in 7:21 and gets his Magneti Morelli Checkstar Power Lap Award, number 3 out of 4 rounds. 22 points now separate the leader from the runner-up, with 25 available in the next round. It's still all open. And finally, the traditional family picture at WES. We witnessed 2 fantastic days of racing. Next stop will be in Catalonia again for the WES Castelldefels Barcelona round on the 16th of October. We'll see you there. Bye for now.